What's up, guys? We are Sight After Dark out of Brooklyn, New York. I'm Sifa Graffiti.
I'm Dan Berg.
Check out our latest music and check us out reacting to Big Daddy Kane's very special Brooklyn Stand Up. This was suggested by our patron Shameika Applebum, who got it going on. Shout out to you, Shameika. Guys, head on over to Patreon, subscribe for as little as $1 a month, and get in on all of our content and content decisions. Thumbs up if you like it.
My, yes, I must admit that I have never knew love like this before, and I adore everything about you. I do mean every part of, for making someone this beautiful. Have mercy, I wanna kiss your father. You're the kind of girl I wanna get closer to, become the most of you, like love is supposed to do. Cause I fell straight into your trap, and since they say love is blind, I'm the Ray Charles of rap. And I'm waiting for you to put me in your mix, because you got my nose open like a jar of Vicks. I'll be your king, baby, you can be my queen. Let's stay together like Al Green, because
all my love is all I have,
and my dreams are very special.
All my life I look for you,
and today my dreams come true.
You need me and I need you.
Loving us is very special.
Things you seem to do divine.
You look straight into my eyes.
Know our love was meant to be,
'Cause our souls touch tenderly.
love is life and life is living. Very special.
Well, I must admit that you know how to treat a woman. Don't stop your love like Heath Sweat, keep it coming. And our relationship won't ever get dull, because you're always on my mind, even more than my own skull. You're always giving me respect and chivalry, and I can't wait for your enticing delivery. Staying together is a must. Those Tropicana drinks don't blend as good as us. We were made for each other, meant for one another. Neither one of us needs another lover. And just so it could stay that way, yo, I'm on your side like Jennifer Holiday, because
all my love is all I have,
And my dreams are very special.
all my life I look for you.
And today my dreams come true.
You need me and I need you.
Loving us is very special.
Things you seem to do divine.
You look straight into my eyes.
Know our love was meant to be,
'Cause our souls touch tenderly.
love is life and life is living. Very special.
I talk too much, I talk, but keep my real feelings hidden.
but what about that pimpin' ain't easy stuff?
Oh, I was just kidding, 'cause if we unite, baby, I'll do you right.
Well, I hope you meant that mushy stuff you told Barry White, because I think I know you well enough to be understood.
Well, let's talk about sex, babe.
No, not that good.
But Spinderella, yes, miss, I'll still persist.
Well, since you put it like that, Daddy, yeah, we could do
All
this.
my love is all I have,
And my dreams are very special.
all my life I look for you.
And today my dreams come true.
You need me and I need you.
Loving us is very special.
Things you seem to do divine.
You look straight into my eyes.
Know our love was meant to be,
'Cause our souls touch tenderly.
love is life and life is living. Very special. All my love is all I have,
And I'll take it, baby. Larry will take it later.
I wanna give it.
Don't stop, baby. No, don't stop, baby. Oh, don't stop it, lady.
I wanna give you my love, 'cause you're the only one I'm thinking of.
I wanna give you my love, 'cause you're the only one I'm thinking of.
I wanna give you my love, 'cause you're the only one I'm thinking of.
Oh, baby.
I'm
All right. First of all, shout out to Shameika for bringing some hip hop back to the channel.
Woo-hoo.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
But I love this era of rap. You know what I mean? This, whatever, I don't know exactly what year this is, but late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, definitely, especially if it's Big Daddy Kane, definitely. And I want to say like 90, 91 probably, because Spinderella's on it, and he already mentioned, like, when they were doing their back and forth, and she was like, well, what about that Pimpin' Ain't Easy? That's like a song that he had back then, and then he was like, well, let's talk about sex. So it had to be like around right after that, because that was a Salt and Pepper song, Let's Talk About Sex. So it had to be like 90, 91. And I vaguely remember this song, because when he said the rap Ray Charles, when he said I'm the rap Ray Charles, line? I remember that line. And then when she was like, you on my mind more than my own skull, or something like that, I kind of remember vaguely, because I was thinking to myself, what Big Daddy Kane song do I not know? Because we're from the same borough, you know, so.
Well, not this one, apparently.
No, exactly. So, well, that's cool. I love that. I could see this really being a hit back then in 90, 91, because the hook, the chorus, is from an old R&B song. So I could see it being like revisited, and all the kind of the kids who grew up listening to that old R&B song, to have it come back and actually be in a hip hop song, probably thought it was great too. And it was a popular R&B song too, because even just like a couple of years after this, I'm pretty sure Mary J. Blige and Grand Poobah covered that in like a hip hop song that they did, and she sang the same thing.
Well, that's what I feel like this era of hip hop, and it's so good at like harkening back to like the past genres before it. Because like even just hearing this, like just the way like the male and the female vocals, it made me think of like the Method Man and Mary J. Blige. It made me think of like even like Digital Underground a little bit, like his flow and like the tone of his voice that he was using.
Yeah, because he's had some R&B. I think "Kiss Me Then I'll Kiss You Back" by Digital Underground is kind of like a back and forth R&B thing going on.
And then like you were saying, like, so I mean this era they used a lot of like hooks and like beats from like before, which gives it kind of like a classic feel. And like there's so many like songs from this era that are like sampling like the Isley brothers and like stuff like that, and I love that kind of like classic, like the classic with the new twists, kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Big Daddy Kane, like I mean I've said in like a couple podcasts, there's always, everybody has had their reign in New York as like king of New York, and Big Daddy Kane at one point in time was definitely one of the kings in New York. I mean, I would say, even though this song is like super great, it doesn't even attest to his lyrical skill. Like, you know, if you want, you can check out his albums before. His whole style, his rope chains, his flat top, him being a dancer, he had two dancers in the back. His whole style was copied by so many. Even to this day, those that came up like under him, like idolized him. Yeah. You know, and he's still, as my mom would say, kicking dust.
I feel like you kind of have to do that for the hit. Like, I feel like you have to make your shit a little more simple. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to just have the most lyrically complex or whatever thing as the hit. Like,
because you won't reach the top 40. You won't reach everybody, like, in the nation.
Yeah, and this is clearly like we're trying to get everybody in on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so shout out, we were talking about podcasts that we've done. If you like this, check out our Biggie podcast. Check out our Def Jam podcast on Music Maniacs for Side After Dark channel. So I want to say that. But also, I love just all the different voices in this song.
Yeah, it's like 4 of them.
Yeah, and it's like you literally had like you had the gruff like male rapping voice, you had the female rapping voice, you had the male singing voice, you had the female singing voice. So it's like you had just everything. Like what other vocal style do you want to throw in on one track? You know what I mean? Yeah, where's the opera singer? Yo, Big Daddy Kane, you don't fuck with opera?
Yeah. Could someone remind me who Karen Anderson is? Like, what did she sing? I don't want to Google it because I'd rather have somebody remind me so I could be like, oh, I want to take it back to these moments when you didn't have Google, right? When if you forgot, you just forgot and you got reminded.
Somebody later. Write us a letter. or yeah. I don't know what else about it. I love at the end when they harmonize on the hook. That was great. The metaphors were on point throughout the whole song.
Tight.
I always appreciate that. And even the album cover looks like 91, does it not? Like
we got the hoodie, we got the projects, or the P's as they called over here. Like it's like the black and white, the staring off into the distance, the juxtaposition, right? He's from a tough world. He's got a lot on his mind.
Oh shit, yeah. it looks like a job for Big Daddy Kane. So I agree with that. So again, shout out to Shameika for bringing this up. Shout out to everybody on Patreon for making these videos possible. Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. We appreciate you. We're Side After Dark, and we'll see you soon.